כל השונה הלכות בכל יום מובטח לו שהוא בן העולם הבא. בעזרת השם, we're starting today again back in the Yeshivat Shalom Bayit here in Hollywood. Today is Wednesday, Parashat Vayeshev. The Mitzvoth are sponsored by Nishmat Rabbi Meir Halevi Ben Mordechai ve'Esther. Mordechai ve'Esther, Baruch Hashem. The first mitzvah is going to be today is 137 and 138. So 137 is going to say, it's going to teach us that there's an Isur Gomer, right? There's an Isur Deoraita, that anybody to eat from the Korban of Kohen, Agadol that brought Mincha. Yesterday we discussed mitzvah number 36, that obligates the Kohen Gadol to bring the special Mincha offering. But over here today, mitzvah 137 gives us prohibition, nobody is allowed to eat from it. Mitzvah 138 we're going to say, is going to be discussing the mitzvah of Maaseh Chatat, how to fulfill the mitzvah of how to bring a sin offering. When a person, obviously we're talking about by mistake, we don't bring the sin offering, somebody did it on purpose, any korban. All right, let's see, 137. Shelo lechol b'minchat kohen is a prohibition that no one is, everyone is prohibited from eating from the minchat kohen. Shneimar, Vayikra, it says over there in the 6th chapter, 16 pasuk. V'chol minchat kohen kalil tiyeh lo tuchal. Any mincha of a kohen is not allowed to be eaten. So again, what is that in contrast? It's contrast to Israel. If Israel brought the mincha, we said yesterday also that if Israel brings the mincha and the kohen brought in the comets is right between the 3 fingers and the palm, whatever they took the flour, the leftovers, maybe that's why the kohanim had, we said yesterday, cows walking between their legs. Some kohanim. No, it was like this, and he has to, like this. Like this, it has to be there, and with this finger, somehow it swipes this whole thing, and there's no flour allowed to be on the fingers. Only לא מנקה מלמטה. לא מלמטה זה, רק אצבע אגודל. Don't argue. Okay, because maybe he doesn't know how to do it like this, but there is a way. כן. כן. כי הוא רוצה להסביר את זה לפי כוחו. אבל כהנים, sir, my wife is about Kohen, she could split her fingers in a second. I mean, the grandfather, yeah. She has the blood of a Kohanim, her fingers split in a second. Yeah, not like like we have to, like, I don't know, Rabbi Moshe, right? He's like, okay, like it's like, whatever. We have, I don't know what blood we have inside us. Anyway, משושי המצווה, היסוד שאמרנו תחילה, as we already mentioned the foundation about this, כי כוונת הקורבן לעורר לב המקריב אותו. As we already taught you, the whole concept of bringing we don't allow children here to touch smartphones. If the children ask us to make a phone call and you don't have other phone, Baruch Hashem, I have 2 phones. So smartphones is for business. Then we have, for phone calls, we use the flip phones. Children need to make a phone call, don't allow them to touch any smartphones, please. Okay, just a side note. Somebody talking here. Okay, so that, the whole purpose of the korban is to be me'orer, the heart of a person. ואם יאכל הכהן מנחתו, לא יתעורר ליבו עליה יפה שהיא דומה בעיניו כאופה פת לצורכו ואוכלו. So if we're going to allow a regular person to eat Kohen's mincha, or anybody should eat Kohen's mincha, we have a problem. Then it's going to be not so important in his eyes. Again, so obviously the Kohen who brought the mincha is also included in the Isur. So therefore, we don't allow any Kohenim to eat from it, because now it has a chashibut. From Israel, it's a ma'ala for Israel that the Kohen eats from it. It's a great thing. It's a great honor. Some people would bring, you know how much flour? 60 se'im. You know what it is? Bigger than this table. That's a lot of flour. And how much the Kohen brings? Only like this. Little thing. Takes a little thing from a bowl, like I don't know how many pounds it is. Right? 60 se'im, it's a lot of flour. And he takes one, and the rest goes to Kohanim, and the Kohanim have to enjoy it. So you see from there that a person... לא, מזה לא עושים לחם הפנים. לחם הפנים זה היה כסף לשכה, that's money from the קורבן התמיד, that's right, that's the money of the השקלים, right? ראש חודש אדר היו נשמעים בשקלים, רק מחצית השקל. That's the mitzvah to all the expenses of the בית המקדש. But this flour was not used for, you cannot be from Yechid, all those things, לחם הפנים, תמיד, all those things are from tzibur, from the, what was that? However, this was supposed to go straight to the Kohanim, and they use it on their own. But this mincha of the Kohen, the Torah was so worried that if you're going to allow him to eat it, it's going to be nakal in his eyes. It's going to be like a regular thing. So we tell him burn the whole thing to make it chashuv. Okay? As our sages taught us in Menachot, Ayin Bet, the 72 Amud Bet, the second side, Kol HaMenachot, Akrovot, Ligabei HaMizbeach, Nikmatzot. So all the menachot, all the meal offerings have kmitzah. This is the kmitzah. Remember that word. Kmitzah is this, the 3 fingers and the palm, whatever is inside. Literally less than a spoon. Probably less than a tablespoon. Very small amount. That's called nikmatzot. Umektirin kometz kulo legabei hamizbeach, da'ashar necha lekohanim. As we saw, that this, whatever is between the Kohen's palm and 3 fingers, that goes on the mizbeach. The rest is eaten by the Kohanim. Chutz miminchat zacharei kehuna. However, exception is made to the meal offering of the Kohanim. She'ena nikmetzet ela miktirin otar kula. So there is no Kohen. When the Kohen brings a bowl of flour, he does not go with his hand, take out a little bit, takes the whole thing and puts it into the mizbeach, let it all burn instantly. Shene'emar, as it says that v'chol minchat Kohen kalil tiyeh lo tuchal. You have to be very careful to put the entire. Now, it's going to be very careful, obviously. The flour, nothing should stay in the bowl also. Obviously, you talk about kol. The Torah is very midayek. You have to be very careful. Even one little speckle of flour cannot remain. ולמדנו מעתה שמנחת חינוך, מנחת חינוך והביתין, מנחת חינוך והביתין, וכהן שהביא מנחת חוטא, or מנחת נדבה. Usually we're supposed to stand until the rabbi sits, but we're in the middle of the video now, so we have to make an exception just to get up. Or מנחת נדבה is a very important rule people don't know. When the rabbi of Kehillah gets in, we have to stand until he sits down. This is the rule. Okay? Right now, which is in the middle of the video, so we're going to be a little bit makeup. But anyways, kedai to mention that such a mitzvah and its abrogation. The Kohen shevi minchat choteh or minchat nedava, a Kohen that brings any, it's a sin offering from flour. Let's say a poor Kohen. Kohen Gadol does not have that problem. He's not allowed to be poor. But what about minchat nedava? Or he just brings an offering to Hashem as a gift offering. Kulan nisrafot al gabei hamizbeach ve'en hanikmatzot. All of it has to be burned in the mizbeach. And you do not do kmitzah, the separation between the 3 fingers and the palm. כמו שאמרנו למעלה בסדר זה עשה ג' אוקיי. ועניין הקמיצה הוא שנוטל הכהן מן הקמח בקומצו. So now he's going to teach us what קמיצה is. What is that? He says he takes it בקומצו, כלומר בראשי אצבעותיו כדרך שקומץ כל אדם. So he takes like this. Like a woman, when she bakes something, she takes with her the top of the tips of her fingers. Right from the, okay, from the flour, okay, okay, דבקים עם הקו ואין המחזיקים מן הקמח הרבה. So it takes only from the tip of the fingers, like this. Whatever goes onto the cuff, onto the palm, that's what the Kohen takes. Okay? ואם הוסיף בקומץ כגון However, what he does is the Kohen, all he has to do is just take off the tip of the fingers, boom, like this. But what happens if he took a spoonful, like he bent it with his fingers and he made it like a big bunch, a lot of like a spoon? That would be says poser. So over there again, so he has to take only what fits on his fingers like this, very quickly. And also, that's going to make it easier not to make too much dip, because flour is very sticky, and your hands are always wet. You know that, right? Your fingers are always wet. Like it or not, you don't feel it the way, but it's moist. How do you know it's wet? Because when you touch the flour, your fingers are always dirty. How they get stuck? Why would the flour get stuck? Because it's moist. That's right. So over here, he has to take like this. Looks like just with the tip of the finger and put it against that, and then he has to bring it into the, and then he puts that into the altar. Okay. The prohibition is for males and women not allowed to eat from this flour, from the mincha. בזמן הבית, and it was obviously during the בית המקדש. ועובר על זה, ואכל ממנה כזית לוקה. What happens is if a person eats from it, so how much can you eat? Let's say if he took a chicken, you know those fish, flounder, they put a little bit of flour. It's not kazait, that's not a problem. he did it. It's not a good thing, but he's not going to get malkut. In order to get lashed, he has to eat a whole kazayit, a nice amount. It's a lot of flour. בלשון ספרה, כליל תהיה לא תאכל. What does that mean? כל שהוא בכליל תהיה. תיתן לו תעשה על אכילתו. So again, he says, even a little bit has to be burnt. So like I said, if you have a bowl, it has to be a special bowl that has not even one speckle left. The whole thing has to be, I guess, brushed into the mizbeach, and nothing should remain, and burned completely. Okay, next mitzvah. Mitzvah chatat. Very important mitzvah. And all that related to it. What's mitzvah chatat means? Again, a person made a sin, a mistake. He went in and he turned on the light on Shabbat, right? Whatever it is, he forgot, whatever it was, or he didn't know that you're not allowed to turn on the light on Shabbat. He forgot, or that it was Shabbat, or whatever it was. Welcome back, Rabbi Shlomo. Refuah Shlema. Today's shiur is also Refuah Shlema. Now that you join us, it's ניסים בן שמחה, בעזרת השם, וגם בכלל כל השאר עמו ישראל, also חי בדלך. אוקיי, מצוות מעשה החטאת. 138. I did before class. You said that, okay. שנצטווינו שיעשו הכהנים קורבן החטאת. Here Rabbi Moshe this for you soon, בעזרת השם. Unfortunately, the 2,000 years in Galut almost, let's not say 2,000 years, because then we're cursing ourselves. It's actually 1,954, and it should remain that way. Nobody says amen. That's amazing. Okay? Because, we should stop saying, it sounds like they're saying 2,000 years already for many years. And we're cursing ourselves. We should not say 2,000 years because, Baruch Hashem, it's not 2,000 years. It's 1900. It should remain. This is the last year, B'ezrat Hashem. על העניין הנזכר בכתוב, so B'ezrat Hashem, בקרוב מאוד, it says in the Torah over there, Moshe Cohen is going to fulfill it. Okay. It says over there in Vayikra, 6th chapter, 18 pasuk, Zot Torah Tachatat. This is what's going to be Rabbi Moshe. Shlomo, you can't bother him. He has to pay attention. Please. Good, so take it off. כבר אמרנו למעלה. We learned already, כי בפרטי הקורבנות, כלומר, בסדר שחיטתן באיזה מקום. So in every korban that we discussed, we already discussed where, at which location, where it has to be constructed. ועניין הקרבתן והזתן. That how you bring it and how do you spritz on the mizbeach. ומקום וזמן אכילתם. And also how, where, what time he has to eat it. Or sharifatan, or you have to burn the whole thing. Biktzat mehen. Or like we said, and some of them have korban olah and all those things. אין לנו ליגה מחשבותינו אחר שורשי עניינם, אלא שאין להם חקר ואין לנו בשכל הכינוי בזה קניין. Never you're going to understand what's the purpose of this. Again, some people love to do these things. They like to just dig in and empty everything, and they don't understand anything anyway, and they're going to try to understand anything. You can't. The rabbi says, our nation is not a nation that has to understand everything before we do it. A nation of Am Israel, it's called Na'aseh V'nishma nation. It's not a nation, it's V'nishma Na'aseh. Some people try to change that, and they're saying, no, you must understand everything before you do it. That's Ashkenazim, Rav. That's the difference between Ashkenazim and Sfaradim. By them, you must understand what you do. We are a nation when you don't have to understand what you do. You were told what to do by your rabbi and you do it. Or your father, you follow what your father did. I'm very makpid, Baruch Hashem. I teach other children, and the rule is, and when I teach children, I say, excuse me, what does your father do? You keep your mouth quiet, and you do what your father does, and finished. That's called Maaseh Avot Siman Lebayim. Finished. You're not allowed to change. Just because your new rabbi came and said something, and it's a big mishkabul, people don't understand that. And rabbis don't like to teach that because they want everybody to listen to what I say. Chas v'shalom, it doesn't go like that. Torah is all about masoret. We have traditions. Tradition. That's the main thing about Torah. That's right. We have a masoret. This is what we do. This is what is accepted. This is the klal. Obviously, it's not some crazy stuff like some people, they swallow orla of the baby of the brit milah, and they think it's a masoret. Chas v'shalom. Not everything. Excuse me. Some ladies, they would swallow because she didn't have a baby. To have a baby, they would swallow skin of the milah. Chas v'shalom. Those kind of things are nonsense. We're not allowed to follow this. You think it's a joke? I'm not joking. Something it's a mitzvah to do that. Unfortunately, it's a big avera. It's a davar sheket and the whole thing. It's asur. Echad, and so I'm just saying, you have to be very careful. Not every minhag is also acceptable, you have to understand where does it come from the Torah, and follow if it's from a source of Torah. But if it's a source from some crazy old lady that she thought that's what it was, and now it is, no, it has to be masorah from a competent rabbi. Or again, we're not to say we disqualify old ladies from giving testimony. That's not true. I ask. I work. I would say in Bukharian community we have Chief Rabbi Yehoshua, and he always quotes from his grandmother many things. When I talk to him, I guess his grandmother obviously was he's not a young man himself, so you could go back. You could go back. Yeah, she was a big battle Hamim and everything, and over there it was done properly. And he's a chief rabbi. He learns Shas every year, completes the whole Shas every year. Baruch Hashem, not a small person, and he always quotes. Whenever I talk to him, any question, he always quotes his grandmother, and what he learned from his grandmother many things. For what the woman's supposed to be doing. We don't say that old ladies are crazy, but some old ladies are crazy. Just because they're old doesn't mean anything. And they tell people, no, you have to swallow this thing to have a baby. Chas v'shalom. It's not acceptable such a thing, and we don't do such a thing. But, needless to say, we're still a nation of Naaseh v'nishma. Naaseh comes before v'nishma. It's till today. It's not was just what time of Moshe Rabbeinu, just for Kabbalah Torah, and that's it. But now, because we have already Gemarot and we have all the Sfarim, so no more Naaseh. First we're going to be Nishma, and that's a wrong practice, not Torah Tenach Kedusha. Achad Meir Hacham Mikubal. So the rabbi says, so let's learn a little bit about the mitzvah. Why do we have korbanot b'chalal? However, sometimes we give you explanations. Again, many people misunderstand. Chinuch is not here to give you explanations on mitzvot. There is no such a thing as explanations on the mitzvot. The only reason why we have some discussion in the mitzvot, so it's gonna go sink into your mind. So you hit it from this level, you hit it from that level. Remember, every mitzvah you have to memorize. So how do you memorize things? You don't just say mitzvah, like everybody tells me. By Sofer, what do you think? You're making a chidush, kol hashana halachot, everybody has to learn 2 mitzvot every day. You think it's a chidush? Especially in the Hasidic yeshivas, they learn by bar mitzvah, everybody knows all the mitzvot. They learn all the mitzvot by heart. They have a whole thing, program. Every child knows mitzvot by heart. So I tell them, so what's mitzvah number 300? He's looking at me like, what? What did I say? I said, halas, 20 years ago you knew it. What happened now? So again, as when they were children, what they knew, they just knew the number. So 300 means what? What was the 300? A son? No. 300 is what? It's right here. It says over there. We must keep Shvi'ah, rest on Shvi'ah Shel Pesach. Right? The only reason why I know it because it was right in front of me. We have it every day over there. Look at one of the 300 mitzvot. Ask me what 315 is. I don't know. But ask this guy what 300 is still here. Again. So why we're discussing it? So we could start remembering things, right? Mitzvah number 33. Anybody knows what mitzvah number 33 is? You guys doing it every day.
Where are you getting these numbers from?
What?
Where are the numbers from?
Where are the numbers? Yeah. Rambam. Beautiful question. It's Rambam, right here. This Sefer Chinuch, it says, listen, there are many Rishonim. No, there's many Rishonim that give out different numbers, and there is a machlokit between Rishonim. What is mitzvah? Let's say there's mitzvah number 27, 28, 30. There's a machlokit between different mitzvot. However, if you want to have a stable mind, you can, unless you are Gaon Vilna, who could have like all the 15 different numbers of mitzvot, each one. If you're Gaon Vilna, go kol hakavod. But if you're not, if you're people like us, simple people, you take one book, one sefer, and you mitrakez on this. And that's what we're trying to do here. So when I come to Shamayim, they're gonna say, "What did you learn the mitzvot?" We told you Mishnah kol hashana halachot b'chol yom uvdach lo shehu b'nei olam haba. We told you if you know the halachot, and halachot means 2 mitzvot deoraita. It doesn't mean Yalchut Yosef on Mishnah Brura. It does not mean that. It means over here 2 mitzvot deoraita. And many times it was already explained. There's brought down a lot of books bringing it down. Like somebody brought me like 17 merei mekomot. That when it says kol hashana in the Mishnah, anyone who learns it means this 2 mitzvot. Every day has its own hashpah. That's why I'm trying to reestablish it back in Am Yisrael. Nobody knows this. So this guy, for instance, this chassid, all the Hasidic yeshivas by the age of bar mitzvah, everybody knows that. All of a sudden they forget. What happened? So the reason why they forget is because they don't delve into it. The children don't know. You just want them to know the numbers. Right? They come in, they get tested, they get the price, bye-bye. But the whole point that what Rabbi is doing over here, he's bringing you mitzvah and he's elaborating a little bit around it. If you notice, we never tell you the reason. It says a shoresh. What is a shoresh? There is a root in the mitzvah, and then we go into how and what medinei, and if there is a reward and punishment, this way it sticks in your head. And I asked the question, did you answer me? What mitzvah number 33 is? You guys do it every day. You guys, especially the older people, they do it every day because you demand it every day from your parents, from your children. What is 33 mitzvah? Come on. No, you demand it from your children. Kibud. Come on, I'm giving you so many hints, gentlemen. Let's go.
We got to do now.
Okay, mitzvah 33. How do you remember? How do I remember it so easy? Very easy. I tell you why I remember it. Because I made it cheshbon. I made it connected to Lag BaOmer. Lag is 33. Kibud Avayim is 33. You put it in your mind, you remember it. So now, this is what you're supposed to do with every mitzvah. Mitzvah 138. We continue. והנה הרמב"ן זיכרונו לברכה לא יחשוב תורת החטאת והאשם והעולה והשלמים מחשבון המצוות. Here's מחלוקת already. Ramban, however, says 138 is not this mitzvah. He has a totally different mitzvah. Okay, so good. The rabbi will bring you sometimes there's a machlokot, but so now לא יחשוב תורת החטאת מן היסוד זה שאמרתי. Again, לפי שהעיקר הציווי יבוא על חיוב הקרבת קורבן. Good. So Ramban says no. There is in the korbanot it's all nichal already. So Ramban has other mitzvot in the back of the Sefer of Chinuch. He brings like differences about 20 different mitzvot between Rambam and Ramban where they argue. וזה לשונו, כל מעשה הקורבנות מצווה אחת ונצטוו כל זרע אהרון בעבודתם. So Ramban says all the korbanot are one mitzvah. He does this mitzvah, it's this mitzvah, not different like Rambam. Rambam holds no. In the Torah, Midoraita, every korban has its own mitzvah. That's the machloket between Rishonim. Okay, but anyway, מדיני המצווה, how do you fulfill this mitzvah? מה שאמרו זכרונם לברכה, as our teachers told us, שהחטאת באים מחמישה מינים. So chatat is there's 5 types of chataot, okay? And Moshe, before you leave, of course you should have a safe flight, obviously. Alechu leshalom, tachzoru b'shalom. But however, let's just learn quickly what the 5 are. Doesn't matter. Mekevasim. So here, the first thing is you bring with the rams. Kevasim, okay? Then ve'izim, you could bring a goat. So one we said ram, sheep, goats, ubakar. Look, I don't know why he says bakar less. A cow. I would think a cow is more expensive, a bigger animal. No, bakar also, you could bring the animal, bull. Ben gdolim, ben ktanim. It doesn't matter if it's a babies, as long as they're alive, more than 8 days old, you could bring them. V'katanut v'gdolot shelahem nifrash enyanam b'shlamim. Again, be'ezrat Hashem. Okay, you have to understand over there what is allowance, how old is the allowed animal to be brought on the mizbech. It's all discussed there. ובאין גם כן בין מן הזכר או נקבה. And all of them could be a female or a male, doesn't matter. ומן התורים או מן בני היונה. Next one, we have the pigeons, right? וכבר כתב, so that's number 4, right? So we had cow.
מה זה pigeons?
להשקיע. וכבר כתב למעלה. קצת, בחטאת העוף. ויש מן החטאות שהיו באין על הציבור כולן. Some hataot were for the entire community. ויש שהן באין על היחיד. Some hataot is only for a person. ומהן מן הציבור ומן היחיד שהיו נשרפות כולן על מזבח החיצון. However, then there are some that are completely burned for the hatat, completely for the community in the mizbech hachitzon, the inside community. ומהן שהיו נחלין כולן, and some of them were eaten completely. Just the blood was thrown and that's it. Some was burned completely, some were eaten. חוץ מן האמורין שבהן שהיו נשרפין על מזבח החיצון. However, some that the imurin, some other the insides of it were completely burned. שאין עושים בפנימי כל השנה אלא הקטורות כמו שאמרנו למעלה. So in the inside was all the הקטורות that was completely burned. Okay. ואלו הן האימורין של שור עושה עז. All right, right now, the emphasis right now, we're short on time, we'll leave. He's going to go into details little by little, because Hashem, somebody wants to learn later on in Russian. I have, 7 o'clock, I go deeper in this with my Russian. But okay, right now it's already 25 minutes, so I'll just finish it. So this mitzvah of chataot, obviously, is in the time of the Beit HaMikdash, and it has to be the kohuna. A person who transgressed this mitzvah and did not fulfill it completely is commanded. Bitvel Asazeh. We should not know such things. Hashem should give us zechut. We have to daven. All our lives we have to daven. We should know. Rabbi, excuse me. One person talking. We should always daven all our lives to fulfill the mitzvot properly. No arguments right now. Please have a wonderful day.